I have to laugh. I'm literally sitting here shaking my head and grinning like someone just told me the best joke I have heard all year, because the energy I am picking up right now, it is comedy gold. It is poetic justice. It is the kind of plot twist that makes you want to stand up and slow clap. You want to know why? Because someone thought they were playing you, Virgo. Someone out there has been walking around with their chest puffed out, convinced that they had the upper hand, that they were smarter than you, slicker than you, that they were pulling strings you could not even see. They have been dancing around you like a puppet master who believes the audience is too dumb to notice the wires. But here is the punchline. Here is the part that has me cackling. You were never the audience. You were never the puppet. You were the playwright. You were reading them the whole time. Every move, every lie, every tiny little manipulation. You saw it, you cataloged it, you filed it away in that brilliant, meticulous mind of yours, and you waited, not because you were weak, not because you were fooled, but because you were gathering evidence. And now the trial is about to begin, and they do not even know they are already convicted. Let me back up because I need to make sure you understand how deep this goes. This is not about a simple misunderstanding. This is not about someone who accidentally hurt your feelings and does not know how to apologize. No. This is about someone who looked you in the eye and calculated. Someone who weighed your worth against their own gain and decided that you were expendable, that your kindness was a weakness they could exploit, that your generosity was a faucet they could leave running while they filled their own cup. They studied you, they learned your patterns, they figured out exactly how much they could take before you would notice, and then they took exactly that much. Every single time. They were so precise, so methodical, so proud of their own cleverness. They probably bragged about it to someone, maybe a friend, maybe a new lover, maybe their own reflection. Virgo does not even know, they said. Virgo is so busy being nice that they have no idea what I am really doing. Oh, but you knew. You knew from the first micro expression that did not match the words. You knew from the first story that had one too many details. You knew from the way they always seemed to benefit from your losses, the way your emergencies always coincided with their opportunities, the way your confusion always seemed to arrive right after their explanations. You knew, but you did not confront them. Not immediately, not the way a fire sign would have, not with explosions and accusations and dramatic exits. No, you are a Virgo. You watched, you listened, you took notes, you cross-referenced, you waited for the pattern to complete itself, because you know that a single lie is just a sentence, but a pattern of lies is a confession, and you wanted the full confession. Not because you needed it for them, because you needed it for you. You needed to be absolutely certain before you made your move. Because once a Virgo decides that the evidence is sufficient, the verdict is final, there is no appeal, there is no negotiation. There is just the quiet, devastating moment when the accused realizes that the judge has been sitting in the room the entire time wearing a disguise of patience. I feel like there is a specific person this is about, and for some of you, it is an ex. The ex who thought they could breadcrumb you back whenever they felt lonely. The ex who thought they could keep you on a shelf, dust you off when they needed validation, and put you back when they were done. They sent you just enough attention to keep you hooked. Just enough affection to make you question your own memory of how badly they treated you. They played the hot and cold game like it was an Olympic sport. And every time they pulled back, they expected you to chase. Every time they returned, they expected you to welcome them with open arms and no questions asked. They thought they had trained you. They thought they had broken your will to the point where you would accept crumbs and call it a feast. But here is what they did not understand. Every time they pulled away, you were not sitting by the phone crying. You were analyzing. Every time they came back with a weak excuse and a weaker apology, you were not forgiving. You were filing. You were building a case, and now that case is airtight. For others of you, this is a friend who has been using you as their emotional dumpster, their career ladder, their social currency. They show up when they need something: advice, money, connections, a shoulder, your ear, your energy, and then they vanish when you need them. They are always busy, always overwhelmed, always going through something that conveniently prevents them from reciprocating, but they never miss a chance to post about how grateful they are for ride or die friends. They tag you in those posts. They use your name to build their own image of loyalty and depth. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, they are talking about you, minimizing your achievements, making your struggles sound like drama. Planting seeds of doubt in mutual friends so that if you ever speak up about their behavior, you will sound like the unstable one. They have been playing chess while you were supposedly playing checkers. Except you were never playing checkers. You were playing chess too. You just were not moving your pieces where they could see them. And for a few of you, this is family. A relative who has been treating you like the family ATM, the family therapist, the family problem solver. They show up with their hands out and their expectations high. They assume that because you are the responsible one, the capable one, the one who has it together, you will always be there to clean up their messes. And when you set a boundary, they act like you have committed a crime. They guilt trip, they manipulate, they rewrite history to cast themselves as the victim and you as the villain who abandoned them. They thought they had you trapped by blood, by obligation, by the fear of being called selfish. But you have been reading the playbook. You have seen every move before they made it, because they are not original. Manipulators never are. They use the same script, the same tactics, the same tired emotional blackmail that has worked on other people. But you are not other people. You are Virgo. And Virgos do not get played. Virgos observe, calculate, and then strike with a precision that leaves the manipulator wondering what just happened. Now, here is where it gets really interesting, because the moment of exposure is coming, and it is not going to come from you. That is the beautiful part. You do not have to say a word. You do not have to confront them. You do not have to present your evidence or make your case. The universe is about to do it for you. Something is going to happen that forces their hand. A message sent to the wrong person, a secret recorded, a lie contradicted by hard proof, a third party who finally speaks up, and when it happens, everyone is going to turn and look at them. And then they are going to turn and look at you, and they are going to see something that terrifies them. They are going to see that you are not shocked, you are not crying, you are not scrambling to make sense of the revelation. You are just sitting there with the calmest expression on your face, maybe a slight smile, maybe a slow blink. And in that expression is everything they fear most. The knowledge that you always knew, that while they were performing their little play, you were sitting in the front row with the script memorized. That look is going to destroy them more than any accusation ever could, because accusations can be denied, evidence can be twisted, but the quiet certainty in your eyes, that is undeniable. That is a mirror they cannot break. And when they see themselves reflected in your gaze, they are going to understand for the first time that they were never in control. That the game they thought they were winning was actually a game you stopped playing months ago. That every time they felt powerful, every time they felt clever, every time they felt like they had one over on you, you were actually 10 steps ahead, waiting for the right moment to reveal that the board was never theirs to control. I am getting chills because I can see the exact moment it is going to happen for some of you. You are going to be in a group setting, maybe a dinner, maybe a family gathering, maybe a work event, and someone is going to say something, a casual comment, a slip of the tongue, and the room is going to go quiet. And all eyes are going to shift to the person who has been playing you. And their face is going to do this thing, this rapid calculation, this desperate attempt to spin the narrative before it settles. And they are going to look at you because you are the one they have been lying to. You are the one they have been using. And they are going to expect you to be hurt, to be confused, to give them the reaction that would allow them to play the victim, the misunderstood one, the person who was just doing their best. But you are not going to give them that. You are going to give them something so much worse. You are going to give them your silence, your unblinking, unshakable, terrifying silence. And in that silence, they are going to hear every lie they ever told, every scheme they ever hatched, every time they underestimated you. It is all going to echo back at them in the space between your calm breaths. And then maybe you are going to speak not loudly, not dramatically, just clearly, just honestly. You might say something as simple as, I know, or I have known for a while, or did you really think I did not see that? And those words, spoken without anger, without tears, without any of the emotional chaos they were banking on, those words are going to land like a guillotine, clean, final, irreversible. Because the worst thing you can do to a manipulator is not hate them. It is not even expose them, though that hurts. The worst thing you can do is let them know that their power over you was always an illusion, that you were never under their spell, that you were just letting them think they had you while you quietly untangled yourself from their web. Now, I want to talk about why this is happening now, why the exposure is imminent. It is because you have reached a level of self-worth that makes their tactics obsolete. You used to tolerate the manipulation because some part of you thought you had to. Maybe you thought you needed them. Maybe you thought you were being kind. Maybe you thought that if you just loved them enough, gave enough, proved enough, they would finally change. But that part of you has graduated. That part of you has looked in the mirror and realized that your compassion is not a weakness to be exploited. It is a strength to be protected. And you have started protecting it. You have started saying no. You have started pulling back your energy. You have started treating your time and your attention like the precious resources they are. And the manipulator has noticed, they have felt the shift. They have sensed that something is different, that the faucet is not running as freely, that your responses are slower, that your eyes are cooler, and it is making them panic. Panic makes people sloppy. Panic makes people rush. Panic makes people make mistakes. And they are about to make a big one. They are about to overplay their hand. They are about to push for something, demand something, or lie about something in a way that is so obvious, so egregious, so impossible to ignore that the whole facade is going to come crashing down. And when it does, you are going to be standing there fully intact, fully prepared, fully free, because you already did the work of releasing them in private. You already mourned the version of them you wanted them to be. You already accepted that the relationship, whatever it was built on a foundation of sand. And now you are just waiting for the wind to blow. And the wind is coming. It is picking up speed. And that sandcastle is about to be scattered. I also want to mention that there is someone else watching all of this. Someone who has been observing you from a distance. Not a manipulator, not a user, but someone who sees your discernment and is deeply impressed by it. This person has watched you handle difficult people with grace. They have watched you set boundaries without exploding. They have watched you walk away from chaos without creating more chaos. And they are falling in love with your mind, with your self-possession, with the way you refuse to be dragged into drama, even when you have every right to be dramatic. This person is safe. This person is genuine, and they are about to make themselves known to you. Not because they want something from you, but because they want to give something to you. Respect, admiration, a love that does not require you to be anything other than exactly who you are. And when they show up, you are going to be ready, because the space the manipulator occupied has been cleared, the stage is empty, and the right person is about to walk on. But back to the one who thought they were playing you. I want you to understand something about their psychology. They are not evil. They are just wounded. They learned early that love was transactional. That connection was about control. That vulnerability was a liability. And so they built a life around taking before they could be taken from. They surrounded themselves with people who were too kind to call them out, too loyal to walk away, too hopeful to see the pattern. And for a long time, it worked. They got away with it. They built their little empire of exploitation and called it friendship, called it love, called it family. But then they met you, and they made the fatal error of mistaking your patience for ignorance, your kindness for gullibility, your silence for compliance. They did not realize that Virgo silence is not empty. Virgo silence is a laboratory. It is where the analysis happens. It is where the truth gets distilled. And once the distillation is complete, there is no going back. They are going to try to come back, by the way, after the exposure, after the humiliation, after they realize that everyone now sees what you saw all along. They are going to try to circle back to you, not because they have changed, but because they need a soft place to land. They need someone to forgive them so they can forgive themselves. They need you to be the bigger person so they can avoid being the smaller one. And they are going to use every trick they know. The apology that sounds sincere, the tears that look real, the promise that this time will be different. Do not fall for it. Not because you are cruel, but because you are wise. You know that a leopard does not change its spots overnight. You know that real change requires accountability, not just regret. And you know that your energy is too valuable to be spent on someone who has already proven that they see you as a resource, not a person. I feel like some of you need to hear that it is okay to enjoy this. It is okay to feel satisfied when the truth comes out. Society tells us that we should be magnanimous, that we should forgive and forget, that we should rise above and take the high road. And yes, eventually you will forgive. Forgiveness is for you, not for them. But right now, you are allowed to feel the sweetness of vindication. You are allowed to smile when they stumble. You are allowed to feel your own power surge when they realize they lost the one person who would have moved mountains for them if they had just been honest. That is not petty. That is human. That is the natural response to watching justice arrive in real time. So feel it, savor it, let it remind you that your intuition was never wrong, that your gut feelings were not paranoia, that the red flags you saw were real, and your decision to trust yourself was the smartest choice you ever made. There is also a financial aspect to this for some of you. This person who thought they were playing you may have cost you money. Maybe they borrowed and never paid back. Maybe they sabotaged an opportunity. Maybe they used your resources while pretending to be your partner. And I feel like there is a repayment coming, not necessarily from them directly. The universe has a way of balancing scales that does not always involve the person who tipped them, but the money, the opportunity, the abundance that was delayed because of their interference, it is about to find its way to you with interest, because the universe does not like when its favorites are taken advantage of. And you, Virgo, are definitely a favorite. So watch for unexpected financial blessings in the coming weeks. They are part of your compensation for the energy this person stole. I also want to talk about your reputation for a moment, because the manipulator may have tried to damage it. They may have spread stories, painted you in a negative light, tried to preemptively discredit you in case you ever spoke up. But here is the thing about truth. It has a way of surfacing. It is like oil in water. It might get pushed down, stirred up, hidden beneath the surface, but eventually it rises. And when it does, the people who believe the lies are going to feel foolish. The people who defended you are going to feel vindicated, and the people who stayed neutral are going to see very clearly who was who in this situation. Your reputation is not just safe, it is about to be elevated, because everyone is going to witness your grace under pressure, your refusal to engage in petty retaliation, your ability to hold your head high while the person who tried to destroy you is exposed. That is character. That is integrity. And that is unforgettable. So here is what I want you to do as this unfolds. I want you to stay calm. I want you to stay grounded. I want you to remember that you are not a victim in this story. You are the protagonist. You are the one who saw through the illusion. You are the one who protected your own heart while the other person was busy trying to break it. You are the one who wins, and winning does not always look like a parade. Sometimes winning looks like peace. Sometimes winning looks like silence. Sometimes winning looks like walking away from a burning building without looking back because you already took everything you needed from it. The lessons, the strength, the clarity, and you left the ashes for the arsonist. Do not engage with their drama when it explodes. Do not try to get the last word. Do not try to make sure everyone knows your side. You do not need to defend yourself. The truth is your defense. Your energy is your defense. The life you are building, the joy you are experiencing, the love you are attracting, all of that is your defense. It speaks louder than any argument. It shines brighter than any spotlight. It proves more thoroughly than any evidence that you were never the one with the problem. They were. And when it is all over, when the dust settles and the manipulator has moved on to their next target or their next breakdown, you are going to be left with something priceless. The knowledge that you cannot be fooled, not because you are cynical, but because you are awake, you are alert, you are aware. And that awareness is a superpower. It means that the next time someone tries to play you, and there will be a next time because people like this are everywhere, you will see it even faster. You will shut it down even sooner. You will protect your peace even more fiercely. And you will never again confuse being nice with being naive. You will never again mistake patience for permission. You will never again allow someone to treat you like a game they are entitled to win. You were reading them the whole time. Every chapter, every footnote, every lie disguised as a joke, every manipulation wrapped in a compliment. You saw it all, and you chose yourself anyway. That is the real victory here. Not the exposure, not the vindication, not the applause from the audience when the villain is revealed. The real victory is that you stopped playing. You stepped off the board. You reclaimed your pieces, and now you are playing a different game entirely. One where honesty is the only rule, where reciprocity is the only currency, where love is never a transaction, and trust is never a trap. So let them think they were playing you. Let them have their moment of false confidence. Let them strut and scheme and congratulate themselves on their own cleverness, because the reveal is coming. The curtain is about to rise on the final act, and when the lights come up, everyone is going to see what you have known all along, that the smartest person in the room was never the one talking the loudest. It was the one listening the closest. It was the one watching the longest. It was you. It was always you. And now they know it too. Checkmate. Beautiful. Checkmate.